Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Richard. You know, I like to read a lot. I like to learn about money, travel. It's just my kind of my thing, right? Some people like to do drugs. This is my drug, just to read. And so today I came across this post on Wall Street Bets. Now, Wall Street Bets is kind of a crazy place. It's where I started it originally when I was trading options. I started trading options around the time of COVID and the beginning of COVID because I thought it was going to really tank the market. I was right. I made a bunch of, not a bunch, I doubled my investment and then I proceeded to lose my profit, lose my investment, and then lose some more on top of that. So it's taken me a few years to find the style of trading or investing that I like. I still like to trade options, but I just do it on a more conservative level. I try to make more informed decisions. But anyway, but you get on there sometimes and you'll see lots of gain porn, they call it, or lots of loss porn. And in this case, this guy, he started with $1,300 about a month ago, July 10th, got up to $1.5 million, and then proceeded to lose almost all of it. Now, he's still up around $25,000. So to go from $1,300 to $25,000 in a month is still pretty good. But the problem, though, is the mental damage it does when you know when you had something and you don't. Now he's saying like, the money was never mine to begin with if I never withdrew it. That's not really true. You're playing a mental game with yourself when you're saying that because with options there's a time value to them, right? They expire at some point, and he was probably playing very short dated calls like 0 DTE or something like that, and which helped him make all this money, but also lost it. Now the crazy thing though is just how much this could be making if he even just collected 5% a month in a high yield savings account, or that'd be like 75 grand a year. But if he went and put it into like some sort of these covered call funds, right, you'd be making like 30 to 40 grand a month possibly. Covered call funds have their risks. Okay, like I invested them, I'm a fan of them, but it'd be very irresponsible of me to say it's like a risk-free investment. Okay, but anyway, but the thing is though is like most people, like I wrote that there, is that it's okay. So the crazy thing about Wall Street Bets is people go there, they like to brag, but people also like to share their losses. Maybe it's a way of a form of catharsis. Maybe people commiserate with the person. And the only hope, though, is people don't do anything drastic. Some of the losses are pretty extreme, and my hope is always that they don't do anything extreme and do any self harm. So people are posting these really like grandmother, like just laughing at the poor guy, but and people are saying what you could have done, right? And it's shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? It's like he's talking about it right now. But anyway, so the thing is what we are really bad about is learning from others, right? Like me especially. Like I want to touch the flame. I want to learn it myself. Um, my father gives great advice, and sometimes I'm just really bad at taking it. However, I do hope that people realize like if you ever make a decent chunk of money, like I think if you take it in absolute value terms, right, the the feeling of making $1 million is less is a smaller number than the feeling of losing $1 million, if that makes any sense to you. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I hope that if you ever make a huge amount of money relatively large to what you've ever generated before in your life, that you take the time to kind of take some off the table. Uh, at least because I think this is going to F with this guy's head for a long, long time. I very few people now the best traders in the world will shake it off, right? It's like the best quarterbacks in the world in the NFL. They forget the bad play that they just made, but most people can't, right? It takes a really strong mental game to just forget what you had. He's telling himself he never had it, but he did. He just was arrogant. I'm sorry, I'm judging now, but just thought he could make more of it, right? It's like the bird in the hand's worth two in the bush. He thought he was going to make another $10 million on top of it or something like that, probably. I'm sorry for him to go through all that. And that's the biggest thing about trading is just taking profit and controlling your risk, and it's a skill that I've been trying to learn over these last few years. Is I'm happy just taking 50%, taking 20%, right? Not always trying to go for more, because that will let you trade for longer. Yeah, you're not going to have the great story. You're not going to be able to brag to your friends about how what an amazing trader you are. But the reality is, though, is most traders wash out. They get wiped out. Nobody, very few people make a living trading. These last few years have been just kind of an extremely crazy time. The volatility has helped a lot with making money with options. The gamifying with Robinhood and so on has made it easier for people. And so it's easy, but let's see if people and I do not say this to just because I'm like bitter because I'm not. I think I'm pretty happy. I'm just trying to encourage to balance out your perspective with your optimism along with some reality. And the reality is most people just can't trade for a long period of time. They can't trade for a living. Not for 20, 25 years. There's people who've done it recently, right? When people were staying at home because of COVID and stuff like that, they would work, right, at their home job and then like be trading on the side. And because the federal government put a ton of money in, liquidity was just flowing. It allowed the market to rally. Okay, great, I get it. But show me how well you trade in a down market. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying it because I'm bitter. I'm happy for everybody's successes, and I feel bad for people who have situations like this guy. But I'm just hoping you can have a little perspective. Anyway, that's all. I just want to share this video. Maybe I'll share more of these. I find it very interesting and humorous is the wrong word because this poor guy got screwed. But he got screwed by his own actions. Okay, and I'm sure he owns that, but still a tough break. All right, have a good one.